Sahar, and ladies and visitors, thank you, and fellow candidates. It is a privilege to be here tonight. I'm delighted to be here with my wife, Julianne. If you haven't met Julianne, that's her sitting in the audience over there. She's my best friend and partner, and also in the insurance business as well. So we both have a unique flavor for our insurance. I want to give you a few things about my background this evening. Some of you know some things about my background, others do not. I am a native of Northeast Georgia, born in the Toccoa area. My father was in ministry for 55 years, so we moved around the Northeast Georgia area. He couldn't hold a job, so we went around to 4 or 5 different places, but that was a wonderful childhood. I actually had my leadership career began very early in my life. I was both the Georgia and the national president of the Vocational Industrial Clubs of America. It's now known as Skills USA, and it's one of the largest youth organizations in the world, 12,000 members in Georgia, 300,000 members across the country. I went on to Truett McConnell College in Cleveland, Georgia. I was the president of my freshman and sophomore classes, and then I enlisted in the Army under President Ronald Wilson Reagan, and went off to the Army. 18 months later, I was selected for an ROTC scholarship, and I went to school on a scholarship at the University of Honolulu. Somebody had to do it, and so I signed up for that. After 2 years, I was the commander of troops, which is the highest ranking position, and in one of the largest ROTC departments in the country. I received the Distinguished Military Graduate Award and the George Marshall Leadership Award. I enlisted and then became an officer, and then came back and served my country for 4 years as a military intelligence officer. I did a lot of things as a military intelligence officer. I was also a fire and safety officer, both the company and the battalion level. After leaving the military, I went to work for Mobil Oil Corporation, running multi-million-dollar business units in Dallas and Houston. I know a little bit about petroleum fire safety. You may have seen Commissioner Oxendine's name on a few gas pumps. I know a little bit about that. And then at 29 years old, something happened to me that changed my life. I was diagnosed with cancer. And after being diagnosed with cancer, I made a decision that either cancer was going to define me or I was going to define it. And I chose to define it. I left Mobil Oil and came back to my home, state of Georgia, to be close to my parents. Received the best health care treatment in the world, no question about it. And then I started my career over in healthcare as a licensed agent. Within a few years, I was a national director of sales of a large company that did a lot of different things in the benefit arena, in the insurance arena. One of the things that we did, and I know you may hear some talk about fraud tonight, I actually have used and put into place systems to catch fraud, whether it's narcotic abuse in West Virginia or Medicaid fraud in South Florida. I know a little bit about finding fraud as well. I started my own company. I wrote an article in 1998, changed my healthcare career, and I became a national expert at that point, started my own company. And what I've been doing for the last 10 or so years is traveling around the country, working with legislators and employers, large employers, middle-sized employers, and small employers, and legislators, helping them to save money on their health care benefits without cutting the patient's rights or benefits or the reimbursements to the physicians, just by simply shining a light on the middle layers of waste and abuse in health care. So disclosure is a big issue for me. Now, why am I running for insurance commissioner? Well, 2 reasons. The first reason is I think it's time for some new leaders in Georgia. I'm hearing that from thousands of people across the state, that we want some new leaders. We want passion. We want folks who not only understand things from a legislative perspective, but also from a functional perspective. And I've done both. I know healthcare, I know insurance because I've lived it. I know legislation because I've been helping legislators legislate all over the country with smart, free market legislation. So that's the first reason, because I think it's time for new leaders in the Republican Party. The second reason, I don't want the federal government to decide who gets to live or die. And I'm going to fight with everything I can to make sure, and I'm not only going to talk about it, I have a plan. It's called the Georgia Healthcare Freedom Act. This is part of the plan. I'd encourage you to pick up a copy. I'm going to work with the Attorney General and the Governor to exert whatever states' rights that we have to protect our free market healthcare system. I'm going to shine a light on the second highest tax in the nation, Georgia's healthcare premium tax. It's out of control. $300 million goes to the state, none of which goes to healthcare. Thank you, and I'll finish and talk to you as long as you need me to talk to you tonight. I'll stay around. My time is running up. God bless you. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you.